You're listening to A Student of Beauty, and this is Finding Beauty Every Day, our audio exclusive that kind of touches on what it means to look for the good, to look for the beauty, to look for the glimmers in your every single day. My name is Gabby Pasqua, and I'm your host. I am a former makeup artist turned media entrepreneur turned traveler and now writing and podcasting. I'm doing a lot of different things that has taken me out of what is my normal. And so, without further ado, let's jump right in. So, this episode is going to be called Finding Beauty in Being Seen and Content Creation. So, being seen is something that I'm currently struggling with because I have been so used to staying quiet and, you know, being backstage and being behind the scenes, being behind the lens, still writing, producing, and not really needing to put myself out there. We've been slowly integrating me sharing my story and showing up on video podcasts while we were traveling around the world. If you haven't yet, we have a whole travel series of me speaking about beauty in the different locations and different countries that we were in, and it was really fun to record those. They're really short, so I won't be taxing this, I won't be taxing your time because, like I said, being seen is something that I have been struggling with. So it was, a muscle that I had to build. I didn't want those episodes to go longer than 10 minutes. I was trying to aim for 5-minute episodes of me just having to be on camera and just get out what I needed to say and get to the point. But these audio exclusives really has been the place where I get to show up, use my voice, and connect with anyone who wants to listen. And so, this whole being seen topic and finding beauty in it is something that I felt like might be able to help somebody who's wanting to start their, wanting to start their content creation journey, anyone who wants to exercise using their voice, or just, truth be told, just getting out more in public and expanding your network and, putting yourself out there and truly just being seen, rejected, and accepted all at the same time because it's all encompassing. So, a bit about who I was before. Like I mentioned, I was a professional makeup artist. I was working in LA. I was working primarily in entertainment and in television. I worked my way through from being, working as an assistant for different beauty brands to working on their digital campaigns to then slowly working on advertorial campaigns, in-store campaigns for like Target, Walmart, Gap, Old Navy. What else did I work on? High end for like Burberry and Ferragamo. That was really cool. And then, seeing the digital renaissance and working with influencers. And then I slowly started getting integrated with Young Hollywood, naturally just being in LA at the time. And so that kind of landed me to teach me how to work with celebrity artists. And then since I was getting primed to work with celebrity artists, I ended up just accidentally getting connected to an actress that I then was personal to for 5-6 years consistently, and I absolutely loved working with her. And because of her, I was able to get grandfathered into the Hairstylist and Makeup Artists Union that granted me access to basically any set that was filming in Hollywood, commercial, film, television, etc. I had like the golden ticket to any set. And, that was something that I didn't expect. It was a goal that I had. I didn't realize that it was going to happen as soon as it did. It happened at the beginning of my career, and I thought everything like that was going to happen later in my career. I thought I had to work longer and it was going to be a more grueling process, but somehow God had other plans, and I ended up on a TV show, and that was life changing. The consistency and the stability of that TV show for the 5 years that I was on it completely changed the trajectory of my life. Because of it, I had the time and the space and the resources to explore what it meant to build something that was mine. I think Rachel Zoe just did an interview with she just did an interview on a podcast speaking about how at the end of the day she realized that being a stylist was a service job, and that was something that I also recognized was being a makeup artist was at the end of the day a service job, and I wanted to build legacy, I wanted to build longevity. And because I had the stability of the TV show, it was something that I really wanted to maintain. I loved that stability. And so I was like, how can I build something that will give me this same access to time and resources? I wasn't making like a ton of money, but I was comfortable. And I was like, I don't need much, but this is amazing. Like, how can I make sure that I can have freedom like this and time and saying no to jobs that I don't actually want to do, and not saying yes to it because I have to, but actually saying yes and no to the jobs that I actually want. And I was like, how do I build that? And so I was intuitively guided and led. For those who are starting to listen more frequently, I am a very spiritual person. I've always deemed prayer and meditation the core construct of how I operate. And it was something that I was heavily still practicing in my early 20s because that's when it started. And so then I was just like, okay, like, how do I do this? What do I do? And I just kind of started listening to the different creative voices that would come through and what I naturally liked, what I was naturally, drawn into. And I've always was curious about starting like a makeup line and a beauty line. And so an idea came to me. I explored that. I put my life savings in it. And then that I'm can link a video to my actual story so you could watch it. It's on YouTube. And I'll save time here, but I'll say that that beauty brand, skipping a few chapters, landed me into evolving that beauty brand into a media company or a production company that now is starting to explore different options and expansion outside of just production, which is ASOB Media, which is a company that I am a co-founder of now. And so beauty and that stability and that TV show and that actress and me just putting hours in as a makeup artist really gave me this life-changing opportunity to give me a pathway to feel the most fulfilled and the most myself I've ever felt in my life. And this is a gift that I do not take for granted. It's something that is deep down so meaningful to me. And as cheesy as it sounds, it's just like all glory to God and the divine and that deep, deep rooted connection. But despite all of the good and the fulfillment and everything that I have been feeling that is good as a result of all the choices that I've made and all the circumstances I was been put through and all the pivots and all of the crises that I had to work myself out of, and all the challenges, and I'll get into that in another episode probably. But to be completely frank and honest with you, it's like I still struggled with being seen. And the beauty brand was the first step in me realizing that I had to put myself out there. Well, even before the beauty brand, the reason why I started a beauty brand was because all my girlfriends was telling me to turn into like a beauty blogger, an influencer. I blogged for a while. I deleted the whole thing out of like pure fear of what other people were going to say. For anyone who hasn't worked in Hollywood or entertainment, there is like different etiquettes and there's a way. It's very politically correct. It's very kind of controlled. I don't know how to explain. There's a nuance and a way that that industry works. And I was starting to blog 2013, 2014, 2015, kind of like peak blogging. If I would have kept that blog, my life would have been different. I say this about everything. And so I was so freaked out. I, deleted the blog because I didn't want to sound cringe to anyone who was looking me up, even though some people were applauding it. I wanted to show up online, and people put seeds of doubt and told me to not, and that I wasn't able to do so. I like messed up. I navigated, working on sets and sharing too much when I was trying to balance like social media and learning what it's like to be on set. I've been removed from jobs. I've been fired from jobs because of social media or just like opening my mouth because of NDA. That's a whole nother thing. Happened twice in my career. And so that is something that it's always freaked me out, just being seen. Because every single time I feel like I had been seen, there was negative connotation for it. And the negativity that I experienced was so immense, and it cut me so deeply that any ounce of even potentially entering into a space that was going to possibly invite a heavy negative response has always like made me want to recoil and not share anything. And so this whole finding beauty in being seen and building into being a content creator is a topic I wanted to touch on because it's something that I have been struggling with for over a decade. And it is time that I finally just push through and get over myself. And so, with that, I wanted to help somebody. I didn't want to just talk about the struggle that I had, I want to speak about what's working, what realizations I have come to. And so, let's jump right into the three that I wanted to share with you. So, one, clear, effective communication is the result of showing up online and being a content creator because you have to rewatch, re-listen, and just revisit the way that other people are possibly experiencing you and the level of cringe that I have felt listening to my own voice, watching my face. I got braces because I couldn't stand what I was seeing on camera last year. My teeth was shifting drastically. It causes you to really see yourself differently, and bottom line, it has made me a more effective communicator. I feel I want to express everything that I'm meaning to express on the upfront versus before I would dance around it and apologize for it or stop myself from actually saying what I want to say and dance around and say so many words. It's like, stop, just say what you want to say. And so, what I want to say for number one is clear and effective communication is a result of showing up and being seen. And also, it doesn't happen overnight, it gets better the more you do it. So, that's my number one. Number two, nobody cares. That's something a couple people told me in this whole content creator journey. There were two people that told me this, three people actually, three people who told me nobody cares. And the first person who told me nobody cares actually like stopped me from continuing a podcast that I started. It was a beauty podcast back in 2017, 2018 that I started. And I had amazing interviews and I had amazing interviews lined up. And that person telling me nobody cares like really stung. And I don't know why. I just didn't have it in me. I had no confidence, y'all. Like I had no confidence. There was insecurity. Nobody cares. That really like effed me up. And I feel like nobody cares about only what you're doing, but they do care when it relates to them. So that brings me into my third point of the right people show up for you, not only as listeners, as people in your community that are following you online, that are wanting to hear what you want to share and want to say, but the right people show up for you also in your process. For as many people, the three people who has told me, nobody cares, why are you doing this? Don't do that, stop talking, yada, yada. Like the right people, double, triple, quadruple the amount of people have come to me and encouraged me to keep going. And those people typically are the winners. Those people are also probably the same people that are in the arena. Those people are also probably really happy with themselves and found success in the same lane. So be very careful on who you're sharing what with, because if they don't have what you want, then their opinion is null and void. And so, to be completely honest with you, the right people show up for you, they encourage you to keep going, and they're the ones who are always the winners. One more time. The right people show up for you. So don't be afraid of losing people, losing followers. I just ran my analytics today before this recording just to see where I was at. This last month, I lost 41 followers, but I gained 45. So I'm up 4. Cool. I just literally got replaced by people who actually want to be in my community and want to see the things that I want to post and want to hear the things that I want to hear. And to be completely honest with you, bye. Everybody who doesn't want to be there, like, there's an exit door, and it's called the unfollow button. It's called the mute button. Like, I don't need fake friends who also just like keep watching and they don't want to engage and they know what's going on, but they don't they're just I don't know. It's just if you're my real friend, we check in already. Like, I love you. And it's a creator that I really love, Liv Schreiber. I love her. She she was like, she tells her close friends to mute her because she's not speaking to them. She's speaking to her community. And kind of I'm now understanding that, where I'm just like, my real friends, like in real life. And the people that I've known for a long time, I'm just kind of like, you can mute me, you can unfollow me. I'm not hurt because you're not the demographic and you're not the people necessarily that I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to a different topic. I'm wanting to expand my network. I'm wanting to expand my reach. And so I hope that whoever is going through something and is struggling with that, you realize that the right people are going to show up for you in so many ways. Just being very clear and distinct on your path and what you want to achieve is the best thing because it erases all the noise. And sometimes we need to limit access to the people who have access to us. And not everybody who has had access needs access. Not everyone who you admire necessarily even needs access to you, right? If their intent and their like posturing is ill will and they're going through their own thing and they're only speaking negativity into you. I think for me, the biggest thing is that I've learned in this process is that there's been so many people who have spoken negatively to me. There's so many people who have dropped seeds of doubt in me that, to be completely real, all I ever want to do now is encourage someone because I know what it feels like for somebody to speak negatively into you. I'm not into the cotton candy, butterflied rainbows and lollipops 24/7. I'm a friend who's going to be very real and kind and keep it 100. But with that being said, I value constructive criticism and and like relentless truth if a friend can handle it, but that's not to be mistaken for a negative seed of doubt and for negativity. It's, at the end of the day, coming grounding into yourself and understanding the differentiation between the two, and that discernment is really important. So, yeah. So those are my 3 and all the things I wanted to say. I'll end with, this is still a practice. Being seen is still a practice. This being seen is still a daily habit for me, which is why I'm doing these podcasts. And another thing is, we are all in echo chambers, so we really put out what we've gained. And so all the wisdom, all the lightness, all the goodness, all the love, all the kindness that's being able to be shared is a result of all the people who's poured into me, a God that I believe in, and the love and adoration and that connection that I have with a higher power. I feel like that love and divine intuition is another reason why I'm able to like pour out. And so I think, you know, what are you putting out? What do you want to say? And why is it that you have been having a hard time with being seen and showing up? And those are questions that I'd want to prompt you, because I feel like once you get down to all of that, it really does become easier to start taking the first step in showing up. And so I'll leave you with this. What if showing up was an act of rebellion from what everyone was trying to say to hold you back? What if? What if showing up was an act of rebellion from what everyone was trying to say to hold you back? How would you show up? It's like, use that fire, use that grit, use all of the doubtful energy and transform it into an energy that allows you to challenge it and to say, you know what? What if? What if this will work out? What if it does lead me to my next opportunity? What if it does connect me to the people that I want to be connected to? What if it does make my vision clear and allow me to be connected to the people that I'm meant to be in this life, in this chapter, in this season, in the day. You never know. You never know. So, with that, I'll stop talking. And so, until tomorrow, thanks for listening. This is a student of beauty, and finding beauty in being seen in content creation is today's episode. So, like, subscribe, share with a friend, and let me know how you're feeling. Did this land? Did this help? I want to know. My name's Gabby Pasqua. You can find me on all the platforms: Substack, TikTok, Instagram, at Gabby Pasqua, or a student of beauty, at a student of beauty. Don't forget the A. So, anyway, with that being said, I look forward to talking to you and continuing these dailies. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.